Well, I have to say, that it is a very proud week to be in England. Very, very good. Because did everyone have a good St. George's Day yesterday? Suppose you did all the usual stuff, like going, yeah, is it St. George's Day? Now, do you know much about St. George?
He's the patron of England.
I'm getting that as a no. No offense, nobody knows anything about St. George.
The great dragon slayer himself.
Very good.
There he is,
yeah. Well, now, here's a picture of St. George. Now, is it just me, or is that Ed without the glasses? Very stylish. Obviously, armour by St. George Dazda. Now, to be fair, though, he did kill a ferocious dragon. Yeah. In fairness, I'm not sure how he killed it. Possibly minced it to death. You got a dragon. It looks more like a Labrador in a Halloween outfit, doesn't it? No, so St. George and the small dog. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Now, obviously, it's, you know, Britain's been en fête. En fête. And as part of the general euphoria, in Cornwall, the largest ever scone was made. Now, is it just me, or is she going to need a bigger cup of tea than that? That's not going to wash that down, is it? On the end, she'll be very dry. What tea? So that's the biggest ever scone. And here is the same scone 5 minutes later. Now, we really ought to talk about acting, since you're here and you're an actor. And now, Apocalypse Now wasn't your part, and then it was. You did get it.
I replaced Harvey Keitel. He had been filming for, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks, and some differences came between he and Francis, I understand. At any rate, they just decided to try again with a new guy, and that was me.
But that whole shoot, I mean, it's legendary, that whole Apocalypse Now shoot, how mad it was.
Yeah, it was pretty mad, yeah.
I mean, do you remember a lot of it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I still do, yeah.
I think, for people who don't know, I mean, you did nearly die doing it. I mean...
Yeah,
How long was it before you could laugh like that when people mentioned that you nearly died?
Geez, yeah, it was a while, but not for my wife, God love her. She came to the hospital. They were wheeling me down this long corridor, and I was half in and out of it. And she leaned down and whispered in my ear, "It's only a movie, babe." And I started getting well right then. I swear to God, she saved my life.
But what was the thing that Coppola said when somebody asked, is Martin Sheen dead?
He's not dead until I say so. I knew he had a lot of power, but I didn't know he was God.
Now, you say that your wife kind of made you well and got you through it.
Yeah.
And Ed Byrne, he'll soon have a wife. You're engaged?
Yeah, I'm getting married next month.
How long have you been engaged for?
A little over a year. No, exactly a year. About a year. Yeah, it'll be 13 months by the time we get married, yeah.
And was it all traditional kind of, you know, like ring in a champagne glass type thing?
Yeah, it was, well, I was traditional in that I remember trying to get onto the subject of getting married. You know, I kept on trying to get the subject back to us, because I had a vague idea of how I was going to ask. And she'd had like 3 glasses of wine, so every time I tried to get the conversation onto us, she kept changing the subject. She'd talk about movies and music and all that, and I'm trying to talk about us, and I felt this is what it's like to be the woman in a relationship. I finally popped the question, and this is true, she actually said no in a joke. She said no for a laugh. And a laugh. I goes, I'm asking you to marry me, and she goes, no. And I went, what? And she goes, I can't, tears in her eyes. She goes, I can't marry you. And I went, oh. And she went, we're joking.
That's never funny.
That's never funny. Don't do it, seriously. And if any ladies here, if you may get it proposed to or anything like that, you're thinking of doing it because you think it's hilarious, I suggest you don't, because not only is it mean, but you'd also be surprised how quickly a man's mind can work under those circumstances. So, like, between, you know, she goes, I can't marry you, and I'm going, oh, she doesn't want to marry me. There's not a lot of point in keeping this going. We may as well break up. No point continuing with this farce. I suppose we could buy her out of the house, or I suppose we could sell the house and split the money. I could move in. I could move back into London. I could move wherever I like. Maybe I'll go to LA. Maybe I'll phone that agent who said, yeah, I'll do what I like. I'll do whatever the hell I like. I'm joking.
Learn from the master. How long have you been married for?
Oh,
Yeah, exactly how long. Exact dates, please. You're supposed to be the poster child for marriage. How long have you been married?
It was December 23rd, 1961, so it'll be 47 years in December.
Whoa, that deserves a round of applause. It really does.
Oh, well.
He just keeps telling himself it's only a movie.
Now, she's my trophy wife. And
Do you keep her on a shelf?
No. She keeps me honest, seriously. And she's always been more mature and brighter than me, and so I've been smart enough to listen to her.
How do you keep the romance going?
Well, it just, you know, you get older, you know, you've changed, your idea of romance changes
So
a
you
little
don't bother, that's what you're saying.
No, we bother. I'm delighted to say we bother, but the ideal kind of way to go into a marriage is that you'll promise that person that you will help them become themselves at all costs. So you will tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth all the time. And most of the time, you'll be the only person that will. And there's another level to it as well. People talk about happiness, and there's so, oh, I'm happy as Larry, or he makes me happy, she made this, but they rarely talk about joy. And that's the thing that transcends the whole relationship, is the element of joy. And realizing that with gratitude and praise, the other person has allowed you to experience joy. And that's
I think
different.
it's safe to say that's the most profound thing anyone's ever said on this show.
I have to admit, I'm still a bit stuck on the be completely honest with them at all times thing. I'm still like stuck on that rapid while you've sailed on down the river going, hey, I don't think this is going to work. Because the being completely honest thing is
you have
always...
to love each other enough to risk telling the truth and risk their wrath, you know, by telling them the truth.
Well, I think if you only tell the truth, then the other person needs to be a bit more careful about what questions they ask.
That's a very good point.
That's very good.
Yeah. I mean, questions like, where you been till now, who are you texting, what are you doing on the net at this hour, they're fair enough. You need to ask those questions, keep us on our toes. Yeah. But questions like, what are you thinking? Women are obsessed with that question. What are you thinking? Why can't you show us men the same courtesy and consideration we show you and not care about what we're thinking? Why can't you do that? Because do you want to know the honest answer to the question? As soon as you say to your man, what are you thinking? Do you want to know the honest answer? He's thinking, shit, better think of something to say I've been thinking. That's what he's now thinking. Whatever he had been thinking before, that's gone now. No matter how reasonable or innocent it was, it's scuttled off in a passed. These little men run around his head. What are we thinking? He's asking. Give me something to make it good. I won't believe that in a million years. Come on, lads, try harder.
Listen, we must talk about the West Wing while you're here.
Okay.
Because this is true. There was a poll, and a large section of America said they'd like to have you as president. Was it you had a 75%?
Well, doesn't that give you some idea of the trouble we're in?
Yes.
Whenever anybody approached me about the possibility of getting into politics, I would remind them that we already tried it with an ancient actor. It didn't work out too well. We ought not go there, you know. People mistake credibility with celebrity, and that's not a good idea.
A bit of you must be tempted.
Not a whit. No. I'm happy as Larry playing all the different politicians. And
I'm guessing from your Bush comments, you are a Democrat.
I am.